Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com. This video reveals the 3 pieces to the Facebook advertising algorithm puzzle and the one key that will help you unlock it all so you can get better displays, better views, and access to Facebook's best users. First off, what is the Facebook algorithm? This is essentially the machine learning or the AI or the program that was written that decides which users on Facebook are going to see which pieces of content at what time. Now, this runs organically with the native content that people publish to Facebook, but it also runs their advertising system as well. So when you log into Facebook next, what shows up on your newsfeed, both your friends and the groups and all of those posts that you're connected to, but also which advertisements are going to be shown to you, that's all controlled by the algorithm. And there's 3 main things that the algorithm is looking for as an advertiser. When you play to all 3 of these things in the way that Facebook likes, you are going to access the best segments of your audience by Facebook. So let's jump into these 3 separate puzzle pieces. What are they? And they're in order. So number 1 is more important than number 2 is more important than number 3. And number 1 is the user experience on Facebook. So users, the Facebook users, their attention is the product of Facebook, right? Facebook doesn't charge anyone for anything other than advertisers. And what are they charging advertisers for? The attention of the users, the right to be displayed inside of that user's timeline. So they need to, and they being Facebook, Facebook always needs to make sure that their users are having a positive experience. This positive experience is what gets Facebook users to come back. If Facebook users have negative experiences, if they grow tired of the platform, if they don't like being on it because it frustrates them or it makes them angry, that's at odds with Facebook's long-term goal of remaining a viable corporation. So your advertising needs to play into this, and you have a few metrics that you can monitor inside of your ad account, and I'm talking beyond just the basic click-through rate stuff. So at the ad level, you can look at the relevance score, and then they have a negative feedback column and a positive feedback column. Now, these don't show up automatically. You need to go add them to your display in the ads manager, but you want to be monitoring. Do you have a high positive feedback and a low negative feedback rate, or is it inverted? Do you have a high negative feedback and a low positive feedback? If you do have a higher negative feedback rate, this means that Facebook is going to throttle you. They might stop displaying your content altogether. And if you're on the borderline of breaking one of their terms of service, they might just ban your account. Whereas if you're creating ads that give users a positive, engaging experience, they make their users feel good about themselves, they get the smiley faces, the hearts, the thumbs up, the likes, they get comments and engagements, then Facebook's going to want to display your advertisement to more people because you're creating a positive experience. So that's a really, really big key factor, is how does your advertisement make those users feel? And this is a big reason why Facebook doesn't allow much on the make money online space or the weight loss space. You can advertise these niches, but you have to be really creative about your wording. You can't say things like, would you like to lose 10 pounds next week? Or are you tired of being overweight? Because those kinds of phrases go directly against their terms of service, and they'll just make the users feel bad about themselves. And Facebook's trying to create this false happy ecosystem where everything's rose petals and rainbows on there. And although that's not life, that's what they're trying to create. So if your ad kind of works in that direction, you have a chance of getting better kind of reach with the algorithm. If you're working against that, that's going to be a problem, and that could be a slippery slope all the way to getting your ad account banned. Also think, or keep in mind, why do Facebook users come back? Generally, it's to see new stuff. It's what's going on, right? What are my friends talking about? What's going on in the world today? I'm going to go to Facebook and take a look at what's going on at the kind of the coffee shop or the water cooler, the digital water cooler. That's going to come into play a little bit more in the key on the third one. Number 2 is revenue. Facebook's a corporation. Facebook is a for-profit corporation, and Facebook has investors. Right now, as of this recording, Facebook's stock has had a very bad year, and it's going down. This makes investors weary, and if lots of investors continue to sell their stock price continues to drop. How can Facebook convince investors to remain invested, and or how can Facebook attract more investors to raise their stock price? Well, generating more revenue. Where does Facebook's revenue come from? The advertising system. So that's really truly the second goal of the algorithm, is to make as much money for the corporation as it possibly can. So let's flip this around for you as an advertiser. What does that mean? Well, if you have an ad that gets a high click-through rate and you get lots of conversions inside of your funnel, Facebook is going to display your advertisement more than someone who has a low click-through rate and low conversion rates through the funnel. Why is that? Because Facebook realizes that a funnel that's optimized, an ad that gives a good user experience and gets users to take action, is going to create revenue, right? Every time they click, every time they engage, that means that Facebook, are going to earn income. So Facebook looks at quality advertisers who have great ads and great funnels as partners. And Facebook realizes that someone who's got their funnel dialed in, that's the kind of person that might spend $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, or millions of dollars over the lifetime of that advertiser. Whereas if you've got a rubbish funnel, your ad doesn't get people to click, no one's actually engaging on your landing page, Facebook's tracking all of this data and they realize you're really not cutting it as a professional advertiser, and the odds of you spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars over your lifetime are very low. So you don't get the quality displays, and you just might not get any displays because Facebook is busy displaying the advertisements of their positive partners who are covering number one, right? That good engagement, that good experience, but they're also making lots of money with these partners because every time they display it, they make some money. So you have to have your funnel dialed in. You have to have your ads dialed in. You must be a student of copywriting, and you got to be doing a lot of testing on your end. Facebook's not responsible for your conversion rates, right? Your click-through rates, the number of people who opt in, who see your page, and also the number of sales that you're getting, that's your job as an advertiser, as a copywriter. I see so many people this is one of the biggest mistakes I think people make, is they just start running ads thinking that somehow the ad is a solution when they're sending them to random Shopify homepages, or they're sending them to their homepage and there's like a 0.0001% chance that a human's ever going to convert. You gotta build a high converting funnel first, and then you add on the Facebook ads. And obviously you can use Facebook to test while you're getting it going. So that's really key, is keeping in mind that Facebook really cares about their stock price, and they really care about their impression with their investors. And that all is circulated around how much money did Facebook make last year? How much money did Facebook make in Q4? How much money did Facebook make in Q3? There's a little function of what's their user growth, but boy, those investors want to see money. They want to see how much revenue is coming in. Number 3 is happy advertisers. They do care about you and I. They do actually want to partner with you as an advertiser, with me as an advertiser. They like it when an advertiser has a really good ad and a really good funnel, and it gets displayed, it gets positive engagements, people take action into the funnel, they actually convert, because Facebook knows if you're making money and Facebook's making money and people are having a good experience, that has the likelihood of becoming, a multi-thousand, $100 million plus advertising adventure. There's a lot of digital marketers who spend, like what I would call small digital marketers. And when I say small, I mean, small teams of 4, 5, 6 people, little info product businesses that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own money. And I'm not running any client ads, right? Like I'm just handling this for myself. So Facebook likes it when we do well, because I'm still going back, and not only am I going back to their platform for more, I'm running ads right now, I'm teaching you how to run ads because I found a way to get it to work. So Facebook does care about our experience as advertisers, and they do want us to be profitable, but Facebook knows that it's not in control of your funnel, your ad, or any of that stuff. That's on you. So Facebook's only really able to kind of partner with and scale on the side of displays those advertisers who are giving good positive experiences for their users and who are actually making money, because that's how Facebook makes the money. So really, if your ad sucks, if your funnel sucks, Facebook can't fix that by showing you to different people. So what Facebook's going to do is they're just going to stop showing your stuff, which is kind of the true reason, which comes right back to that whole idea of copywriting. So those are the 3 main kind of factors that the algorithm is always weighting. The moment you fire up your ad, it is instantaneously looking at so many data points. It's looking at how fast people are scrolling over your advertisement. It's looking at the angry faces versus the thumbs up and the hearts. It's looking at the types of comments. It's looking at the words inside of the comments. So every little bit of data that's going and feeding the Facebook algorithm determines your long-term success. So what's the one thing that you can do, right? That one key that you have to be able to bring to your ads through your ad account to trigger the algorithm in a positive way? It's using lots and lots of different variations of creative, because what this allows you to do, and of audiences. So it's just variations is really the word, right? Like variations is ultimately the key word. So I've always taught that you want to break out your different audiences and advertise to them each individually. Then if you've got 30 audiences that you're advertising to, and then you use 3 or 4 different images, and then you use 3 or 4 different hooks, and you mix in a couple of video ads, the number of potential variations there, right? Between the different hook, which a hook is essentially the lead in or the text or the big idea behind your ad. So different hooks with different images, with different videos and different audiences, there ultimately becomes this kind of multiplying effect where there becomes thousands upon thousands of unique variations of your ad, essentially to your kind of ad to audience combination. You seed them thousands potentially of variations through managing a relatively small number of variations on your end. Again, a few different ad images, a few different videos, a few different hooks, they all multiply together and they create a lot of different potential results. Mix that with a lot of different audiences and you have the potential for literally thousands of different variations. Now, Facebook's not going to show all of your variations every time. They're going to show the ones they think are going to work best. So sometimes you need to limit the number of variations to get more displays to different ones. And what you're going to find is out of all these random variations, some variations are going to massively outperform others with certain audiences. And then different variations are going to massively outperform others with different audiences. And what you're ultimately doing is you're creating a collection of ad audience combinations that you can run moving forward for long periods of time. My best advertisement has been displayed over 2 million times at this point, and it's been running for just about 2 years. This at one point was a random variation that I tested. It was an idea for a long copy ad I had. I ran it with several different images when I was testing the ad, and I found this one image and ad combo that did really, really well. But it doesn't do really well for every single audience, and I'm always testing new variations to try to A, beat my click-through rate and beat my funnels, but B, trying to find those ad, image, and hook combinations that work well for other audiences. So the byproduct of all of this is I'm creating lots of unique combinations of content that Facebook is able to display, which goes right back to number one, the rule number one, that Facebook wants to create positive, engaging experiences for their users. Part of that is by showing them new content. So if your ads are always able to be mixed up and new, Facebook's able to keep testing your ads and it's a new ad. The last thing Facebook wants to do is show that same advertisement for a 4th time to that user, right? One way to think about this is how often do you see the same post, even natively? If you just skip over a post that your friend, your sister, your mom posted, and you skip over it, you don't engage, you don't comment, you scroll right past it, how many times in a row do you see that when you open your Facebook app or when you go to the website? Generally, that's it. It was that one time and one time only, and you don't get another additional attempt with it. Rarely the user will see it 2 times. More often than not, it's just the one time. So what does that mean? It's all about the variation. I hope this has been helpful. So one more quick recap. Number 1, the user experience is absolutely the most important thing. Number 2 is Facebook able to make revenue as a partner with you as the advertiser? And that all comes down to what's your click-through rate and how good is your conversion. Number 3 is you. They do want you to be a happy advertiser. They do want you to make money, but they know, Facebook's algorithm knows, it can't control your copy. It can't control ultimately the conversions that happen off-site. And the one key for you is a massive amount of variations and testing. You could do small tests with 2 options per ad set, and you can just run that and keep mixing up the 2 options. You can seed your ad set with 4 images and 4 separate hooks, which creates a lot of different variations. But if you put too many variations in, Facebook's just not going to display half or more. So you might need to run with smaller cycles and then just keep running through them. And you're looking for those ads that work with specific audiences and create high click-through rates, high conversion rates, because at that moment you become one of those positive advertising partners for Facebook. You keep that one and you want to create a collection of these high converting ads. That's the trick to the game. I hope this has been helpful. If you've enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up here. If you'd like to see the case study that I put together where I show you exactly how I generated about 14,000 leads in 30 days for a total out of pocket of about $800, click on the little thumbs up icon that's displaying here. And I'm going to call it now at this video. So subscribe, leave me a comment, engage, do what you do. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video.